Hi, I'd like to welcome you back to another edition of Our Take on Cruise with Roger and Shannon, or
Shannon and Roger.
My name's Roger Blum with Cruise and Port Advisors, and on this beautiful day I am with
Shannon McKee of Access Cruise. Welcome back, everybody, and the countdown is on for Seatrade, which is just around the corner. And today we are standing outside the Pérez Art Museum, and if you can't see it, but we have some beautiful ships lined up right behind us at Port Miami.
There are so many beautiful views of Port Miami.
There really are a lot of beautiful views of Port Miami. But let's talk a little bit about Seatrade, because I was looking at Seatrade and they just announced a new retail day. And I think that's wonderful, because as the topic of Seatrade is the evolution of cruise, we now have a retail day. We have, and I always get this wrong, tomorrow's talent today. Yay! We have a destination day. We have tracks on security and safety. We have entertainment tracks, and the F&B at sea. It just keeps getting better.
So the thing that I've learned about Shannon is besides for your family, there's two things you love: cruising and shopping. So that's why the first thing you think about now is retail day. Like, what a shocker.
What a shocker, you know?
Retail day.
The retail on ships just keeps getting better and better, and it is certainly evolving.
So much for Sawgrass.
Well, I'll be there too.
But Seatrade is really getting close. We can't wait. You see Port Miami behind us. A couple of years ago, last time we were here in Miami, we were showing you the new Royal Caribbean and Norwegian Cruise Line terminals.
Yes.
Now, the big thing is it's still under construction, the MSC terminal, which will be the biggest cruise terminal in the United States. And we're going to post an insert of a picture here, because if we went over there, we've tried that before, the causeway is too loud.
Very noisy.
But it's giant, it's humongous. So there's still a lot to see. Things are changing.
There is a lot to see.
Things are evolving.
Things are evolving. Speaking of evolution, we see some evolving going on with Explora Journeys.
Yes.
They just announced that their president is going to be exiting, Michael Ungerer, and Perez is going to be taking over, probably in the short term.
Yes.
Two different brands there. But also, you know, evolution, one thing that I love is the evolution as cruise lines start to go more and more into different regions. And it may be small cruise lines, but I read about the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes is going to have an epic year in 2024. I took an epic from Claudine. Hi, Claudine. An epic year with over 600 port calls in the Great Lakes region, and they are actually doubling their impact, their revenue impact to the region.
What are the Great Lakes?
The Great Lakes? Oh, all you have to do is say homes, right?
Come on.
Huron, Ontario, Michigan, oh my God. Erie, and Superior.
You did that to me a couple of years ago, asking me if I could name the Great Lakes, and my answer was yes, and then I moved on. In addition to that, one thing that I found really cool that's been happening, many years ago, there was a cruise line with old sailing ships called Ungerer Cruises, and basically, you'd get on the ship and the captain would make the itinerary, everyone would decide what to do. Well, these mystery cruises are really taking off. I know Fred Olsen was doing something like that for a bit. Sometimes you might get into a situation with deviations due to storms or political stuff, and that turns into a mystery cruise. But cruise lines are finding that it is so cool that they're actually doing it. The first thing that just happened was Royal Caribbean is doing their ultimate world cruise. And because of the whole thing about not being able to go through the Red Sea, they now have to sail up along the west coast of Africa to get into the Mediterranean. They've given their guests an opportunity to vote on the itinerary.
I love being able to vote. That's so much fun.
What a cool thing to do. In addition to that, Windstar Cruises just announced a cruise next year, the President's Cruise next year out of Perez, out of Athens, out of Perez, and that's a mystery cruise. They're going to be going pretty much, I think, to ports that they've never sailed to. The president of Windstar says he doesn't even know the itinerary. So I just think this is fun, it's exciting.
I love it. Any useless facts today?
Mystery Island. So many years ago in the South Pacific, they didn't have any out islands, and a friend of mine who was working for P&O Australia in the days, his name was Luigi Napa, found this little island to do this private island experience, and it was called Mystery Island. So you couldn't find out, it wasn't on a map, wasn't anything. My wife and I actually visited there, and it was really cool. So
I love it. Well, the gardeners are coming around, so we're going to say goodbye for now. We'll see you next time. Bye.